Oh, look, a band we were accused of not playing ever, even though we have like 6 of their songs in the system. That right there, Don Broco featuring Sam Carter of Architects. Brand spanking new. Came out today, as a matter of fact. True Believers, what's happening? It is Peaches here on this fine Friday, March 27th, 2026. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. I'm excited for the weekend. There's going to be a lot of traveling, but it's going to be worth it because I'll get to see Slaughter to Prevail, Whitechapel, and Attila at the Revolution Concert House. I know they're going to be in Salt Lake City tonight, as a matter of fact, that same tour at the Complex. Is that where they're performing? I don't know. It's on our concert calendar. Also, tomorrow, Lamb of God is going to be in Salt Lake City. That's going to be one epic show. Lamb of God, Kublai Khan, Fit for an Autopsy, and Sangui Sugabog. Josh tried saying that band's name in the Classy studio just a tad bit ago, and it sounded like he was casting a spell. Sugabog, whatever he said. sounded like something out of Harry Potter. We just announced this morning we are giving away tickets to Hairball, the Mega 80s tribute show that's happening at the Mountain America Center next Saturday, April 4th. Listen for that, stereotypical 80s sounder where it's hairspray and then a hair dryer. It'll be pretty obvious when you hear it. It's not going to be just like some random sound effect of a hairspray and it's going to have that in there, but it's going to say like calm now. It's going to be pretty obvious when you hear it. Be caller 15 when you hear that specific sounder at 208-535-1015. Score your pair of tickets to go see Hairball, where they're going to do tributes to bands like Van Halen, Kiss, Queen, and more all in one night. There's going to be fire, lights, the whole 9 yards. It's going to be pretty fun, actually. April 4th, Hairball, Mountain America Center, giving away tickets for that all this, next week. Next week, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, there's all of that. Peaches Pit Party will return here in just a few on K-Bear 101. Happy Friday. All right, I might irritate some people talking about relationships on this show again. I just came across this thread. What's been the hardest part of dating as a man? Men, not surprisingly, they have the answers. The constant rejection. That or they just don't say anything, or they ghost you overall. That's another answer here. The effort and exhaustion of initiating everything, where it's like, oh, he has to pay for the entire date. He has to decide where. He has to basically put on a show to satisfy me. That's right. This one was rather sad to read. You can tell this guy just he's given up, trying to keep a woman interested long enough to see her charm, humor, and positive points, especially when the looks and salary are lacking a bit. Keep trying. That's all I can say. The staggering amount of competition, no kidding. You ever want to get mad? Take a look at if you go on a first date with a girl and she pulls out Tinder, look at how many matches she has compared to you. She's going to have 99 plus compared to your 5 or 6. It's horrible. Oh, yeah, look, another person said paying for everything for this question. What's been the hardest part of dating as a man? The worst part is, all right, hear me out, guys. If you're trying to date someone out there and they hit you with that line, oh, I can't see you anymore because I need to focus on life. If they ever hit you with that, just know somebody's about to replace you. I hate to say it, but it's happened not just from women, it's happened from many people. I've noticed many different stories all around that line don't turn out well. All the stories, whenever somebody says oh yeah, he told me or she told me they need to focus on life, all of a sudden 2 weeks later they pop up with somebody new, Hate to break it to you, but I've never in my life ever said I need to focus on life and then block somebody and then date somebody new or whatever. Such a stupid tactic. Just say you're not interested in them, all right? Let's move on here. Let's play some 3 Days Grace apologies on Peach's Pit Party. All right, this might have to be my to Peach their own question of the day. What's one thing that no one can change your opinion about? Watch me ask this, and then I'm bound to get some people that are like, Sleep Token is trash. They always want to bring up Sleep Token, even more so than a Sleep Token fan. A Sleep Token hater always wants to know. He wants to let you know, or she wants to let you know, that Sleep Token sucks in their mind. They want to let you know about it. They'll tell you every single day. All right, here we go. What's one thing that no one can change your opinion about? Nachos can be an appetizer, and a meal. 100%. Especially when you get like the nice big loaded nachos with beef, cheese, sour cream, guacamole, olives even. Are olives even necessary? I don't think so. Maybe, yeah, throw them on. Who cares? People who litter are trash. Yeah, definitely. Especially when they throw like their cigarette butt or nicotine pouch. I just saw literally an article right next to this that said, hey, nicotine pouches are the new cigarette butts. Bartenders, sanitation officials, and other tidy people are noticing that nicotine pouches are becoming a new kind of litter, just like cigarette butts were in the past. It seems that more and more users are just spitting the pouches on the ground, in urinals, at the bottom of drink glasses, anywhere, it seems, except for trash cans. Don't be a scumbag, all right? Go to a trash can. Don't be dumb, overall. I've said that many times in the past. Comparison kills happiness? Oh, no kidding. Time is the most valuable asset. It goes by quicker the older you get. Toilet paper goes over, not under. Yes, exactly. When it comes to toilet paper, beards are cool, mullets are not. I need to call this out real quick. Pop-Tarts just dropped this super stuffed version with 50% more filling. Cool. Love that, right? But also, what do you mean more filling? Like, where was this energy the last 20 years? You should not act like this is some crazy innovation. This is how it should have been done this entire time. You ever open a Pop-Tart and it's just bread with a light suggestion of strawberry in the middle, and now they're like, look what we did. No, you fixed a problem you created, right? I'm not tripping, am I? You can't call this thing super stuffed. Pop-Tarts, they just put out the whole super stuffed line, 50% more filling. You should just call it, we finally did it right. I mean, come on. Super stuffed Pop-Tarts should just be normal Pop-Tarts. Keeping track of where to watch baseball games in the age of cable cutting and streaming services has been a rough challenge. For example, a New York Yankees fan will need access to 9 networks or streamers for the 161 games they have left. Yes, their cable network, Amazon Prime, which shows 21 local games a season, NBC/Peacock, ESPN, ABC, Fox, FS1, TBS, and Apple TV. To ease the pain, MLB has launched a new site, MLB.com/watch, that will clearly show what networks or streamers are showing each game. Again, that's MLB.com/watch. Those 3 U.S. runners who were let off the course at the U.S. Half Marathon Championships by the lead vehicle will get a chance to redeem themselves on the world stage. USA Track and Field was granted eligibility to select 7 female athletes rather than the usual 4 for the 2026 World Road Running Championships. The 3 runners led astray: Jess McLean, Emma Grace Hurley, and Edna Kurgat. I don't know how you say that name, actually. Edna Kurgat landed outside of the automatic qualifying positions for the World Championship race in Copenhagen, Denmark on September 20th because of the driver error. Now they'll be able to compete and keep an eye on who's driving ahead of them. That's your very short shot clock sports update for today, right here on K-Bear 101. All right, if you're job hunting right now, this might make you feel a little better or worse, depending, I guess. There's a new report saying a lot of companies are using AI to scan resumes, do initial screenings, even help decide who gets interviews. So if you've ever applied for a job and heard absolutely nothing back, yeah, there's a decent chance a robot looked at your resume for 6 seconds and said nah and just, tossed it to the side, which is wild because you can be totally qualified and just didn't use the exact right buzzwords. That's why I always say, look local when you can. All right, visit the newly redesigned HireEastIdaho.com to find local jobs from local companies. This week's job of the week is a painter position with streamlined services based in Rigby. If you're looking to get into painting or already have experience, they're hiring for a busy crew and will train the right person. It's full-time, paying between $15 and $25 an hour depending on experience. You'll need to be reliable and have your own transportation around Idaho Falls and Rexburg. You need to apply. You can call the certain number on the posting. Find it at HireEastIdaho.com. That's HireEastIdaho.com, connecting people with opportunity. This is just one of those things where you ask the question, how stupid can you be? This woman out of Detroit, she was already late for her court hearing. So the judge just decided to go on without her for the first part of it, and then one of the court officials was like, hey, this iPhone is trying to join the call. Should we let this person do so? And the judge says yes. And so Turns out it is the woman a few minutes late. And, you know, when you're in Zoom for a court call, if you're on Zoom for a court call of any kind, you're supposed to be like, you know, attentive, no distractions. No, this lady popped up on the Zoom call driving a vehicle. Yeah, she was behind the wheel and talking to the judge at the same time. Again, how can you be that stupid? I want to know the thought process. Like, did she think it was just totally okay to do something like that? To not only disrespect by being late, but to also be like, yeah, you know what? I can take this Zoom call now. I'm in between errands. I'm going from the grocery store to the dry cleaner. Why not just determine my future by hopping on this Zoom call real quick while driving at the same time? Detroit seems like a very busy place. I don't think you'll be able to pay attention to traffic and a Zoom call at the same time. But there are a lot of people out there driving around, still taking phone calls, watching movies even. It's quite ridiculous. You got to be safe. You got to be careful. You got to watch out for those dangerous drivers making their way around town. I just saw one yesterday where a lady was on the phone. I remember when it was such a big deal when that law came into place, like you can no longer take phone calls. And sure enough, there was this lady yesterday. I see her with her phone on her ear right there in plain sight. That's a ticket, you know? Maybe we could reiterate that for next week's Traffic School, powered by the Advocates at 8:45 next Friday morning, of course. You can listen to today's episode if you missed any part of it by going to your preferred streaming platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc. Just search Traffic School, powered by the Advocates. You can listen to any previous episodes of that segment on demand. Let's continue Peach's Pit Party here with the Foo Fighters, your favorite toy. It is Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101. I was on Facebook. No, I refreshed my Facebook feed, and sure enough, posted by Consequence out of all pages, the Wiggles will embark on their 26-date Tree of Wisdom Spectacular Tour beginning in August. And they're doing each date twice, except for Jacksonville for some reason. But I was trying to see if they were coming close, because I would have totally, as a bit, given away Wiggles tickets. Can you imagine? Hey, caller 15, you won tickets to the Wiggles, courtesy of K-Bear. You know how we always talk about radio stations showing up to concerts where they shouldn't because they don't play those bands, they don't play those artists? Maybe we should. If the Wiggles were to come to the area, obviously we would have to drive the station vehicles to the venue. Of course, right? The Wiggles were technically my first concert. And now I'm looking at the Wiggles here. Are they the same people? Or, no, that's not Jeff. That's not the same Greg. Hashtag not my Wiggles, apparently. I remember, like, Wake Up Jeff. That was a classic because my dad's name is Jeff. We would often sing that. I would sing that as a kid, you know? How old are those guys? Let me look that up real quick. I'm sorry. I need to see how old, because Jeff has to be in his 70s now, right? Jeff Fat, that's his name. He was old back then. Yeah, he's 72 years old. He hasn't been with the Wiggles since 2012. Wow. Okay. Well, he got to retire. I'm sure he has a lot of money just by being a children's music group star. Yeah, apparently. Let's do some Amity Affliction now. House of Cards on K-Bear 101. 3 Days Grace on K-Bear 101. Don't forget, starting on Monday, we're going to give away tickets to go see Hairball, which is like this massive tribute show to bands like Van Halen, Kiss, Queen, and more. I think I saw AC/DC on that list as well. There's going to be fire, lights, the whole thing. Something worth going to. You know, it's going to be next Saturday, April 4th. They're going totally 80s with it, so we are too. You'll have to listen extra carefully starting on Monday for the very specific sound of hairspray and a hairdryer being played on the air at any given time. Once you hear that, be caller 15 at 208-535-1015 and score your pair of tickets to Hairball, bringing their Balls to the Wall tour. That's my favorite thing to say on the air right now. Balls to the Wall tour to the Mountain America Center in Idaho Falls on Saturday, April 4th. Listen extra carefully starting on Monday. Here's something that should annoy every actual musician listening right now, even people who are just fans of music, I should say. There's a guy out of North Carolina who just pled guilty after making millions of dollars off music that nobody actually listened to. He used AI to crank out thousands of songs, then set up bots to stream them over and over and over again, like billions of plays. So the songs weren't real, the listeners weren't real, but the money, very real. We're talking over $8 to $10 million in royalties, money that's supposed to go to real artists. And the craziest part, the system didn't catch it for years. This dude basically figured out, it's not about fans, it's about streams, and just gamed the entire thing. Which kind of proves what musicians have been saying forever. Streaming payouts are already rough, and now you're competing with robots. I mean, it's the reason why I hate those people so much. They're like, why listen to the radio when you can just stream? It's like, well, streaming's not going to help pay the artists at all either. Like, if everybody just decided to start streaming, artists would not make any money at all, and music would just be like, I don't know. It'd be hard to come by, I guess. New releases, bands would need to go on tour, sell merch, that kind of thing. It's quite crazy. Anyway, there's that uplifting article that I just wanted to talk about here on the show. Let's listen to a real band, shall we? Wage War. They've been teasing another track online as of late. I liked the caption they put with it. Okay, here's a ballad. And then when you watch the little clip of their new song, of the upcoming song, I should say, it's anything but a ballad. I feel like a lot of people must have really pissed them off to move away from that magnetic sound and move towards this. Here's a Song of the Swamp on Peach's Pit Party. Should this be today's What the Headline? I mean, why not? TSA workers, they've been working without pay for weeks because of the DHS shutdown. A ton have either quit or just aren't showing up. That's led to insane lines at airports across the country. We're talking multiple hours to get through security with people missing flights left and right. Some airports are so understaffed, they've had to bring in ICE agents just to help with basic stuff. And yeah, they're supposed to start getting paid soon after an executive order, but the damage is, already done. I'm not trying to get political on this show, but I was just reading some of the stuff here. I just saw this funny thing, though, this other story that I wanted to talk about here for What the Headline. American Airlines passengers were shocked to learn their flights were actually bus routes. There wasn't a plane. Turns out American Airlines started doing this thing where you could take a bus rather than a flight, and people think, American Airlines, let me just book this route. And they show up to the airport, and there's a giant stagecoach bus just waiting for them. They have they're loading the luggage onto the bus. Everyone's all confused, like, wait, what's this for? Is this going to take us to the plane? No, this is your literal vehicle that's going to take you. Some lady posted on TikTok, where was she going? She was going from someplace, I think she was going, from South Bend, Indiana to Chicago. She cleared security, arrived at her gate, only to notice that her checked luggage was being loaded onto a parked coach bus. She assumed it was meant to shuttle her to the plane, not replace it. It was only after the American Airlines branded bus left the tarmac for the open road that this woman realized that the flight she thought she paid for was in fact a bus ride. How long did it take for it even says like on her thing that it would only take an hour and 40 minutes to get there. How long does it take to get from South Bend, Indiana to Chicago? Do I need to look that up? Nah, that's okay. That's today's What the Headline right here on K-Bear 101. I know the show is almost over, but I wanted to talk about this. I think I heard Victor talk about it this morning. What's one thing you completely stopped buying in 2026 because the price just felt absurd? Fast food. Now officially just as financially irresponsible as it has always been dietarily. I've seen some of those fast food combos, and I'm like, who's paying this? Why? I think the best thing to do, unfortunately, I know a lot of people who don't want apps on their phone are going to have to suck it up and download their favorite fast food restaurant's app and just order from that. That's what I do with Taco Bell all the time. It's like $7 in total for my order because of the specials on the apps. It's the best way to go about things. Streaming services, they're charging more, showing less. It's crazy. Netflix, just amped up their prices yet again. I wonder what moron over there made that decision. Yeah, you know what? Let's jack up prices even more. Let's see if people still will keep us. Soda. Yeah, soda overall, $14 12-packs are outrageous. I hate to sound like a hydro homie here, but drink water. It's free. I've almost entirely given up on buying concert tickets at this point. The reason why I go to so many concerts is because I work here. And I always try my best to do as many concert ticket giveaways as I can because I want people to go to concerts for free just like me. There was somebody, Elwood, I talked about yesterday. Elwood is a part of 95 Will Rock. I shared what he went on about. He said, yes, concert tickets are expensive, but what if I told you they could be free and you could meet the band, VIP access, private acoustic show, front row, be in the pit. Radio gives away all the time. Adam from 100.3 The X even chimed into my status saying, as I've always said, when was the last time Spotify sent you to a concert? Remember that for those people that say, I only stream my music. You can let them buy their concert tickets, waste like $500 on 2 tickets to go see a band like Nine Inch Nails, or you could win tickets for free just by simply listening to us. There was a lot of people on my thread that were saying, hey, I've gotten to go to so many shows because of listening to K-Bear. And that's what I love to hear. I would love to actually help people who have never been to a concert, give away tickets for them. My friend Dave, he was talking to me yesterday about how Slaughter to Prevail was his dream concert, and I'm like, hey man, I got an extra ticket. If you want to come with, by all means. I mean, you'll have to pay for your own place in Boise for the night, or if you want to be that maniac that drives back the night of, you could do that, but if you want to get in for free, come with me kind of thing, but he couldn't. He has other priorities. I'm like, well, that's what happens in life, unfortunately, but at least I tried. I'm excited for tomorrow. Slaughter to Prevail, Whitechapel in Attila, and I just realized that I have to drive to Twin Falls tonight because we're doing that weird road trip thing where we're going to Twin Falls, staying at my girlfriend's sister's place, spending the night there, and then we'll hang out for a bit, and then I'll drive the rest of the way to Boise, attend the show myself with Matty Kidd, a.k.a. Mad Dog from down the hall. So if you see us there, make sure to say hello. Sleep Theory right now stuck in my head on Peach's Pit Party. Let's just wrap up the show with this thread here. What back then inconvenience would break people today in 10 minutes? I like the language on this question. What would break people? Would break those young weaklings? No online banking back then. Goes on to say, I remember being a kid and it seemed like my parents were constantly going to the bank. More than that, no ATMs. If you wanted to spend any money on the weekend, you'd better withdraw it before 5 p.m. on Friday. I'm thankful for that convenience, by the way, but also I feel like it would help me save money by not having access to my card or even an ATM. Someone else said, I just went on vacation and thought about how much would it kill people to have to wait to develop their pictures from personal or disposable cameras. Find out pictures you were excited for didn't turn out well after taking the time and money to develop them. I love using disposable cameras. That's something I do all the time. Any single time I go back home, I get a disposable camera and I just take as many fun pictures as I can. If they turn out great, awesome. But if they don't, cool. But it's whatever. I still take pictures on my phone. I don't just automatically resort to a disposable camera, but it does take a long time now for those to develop. It used to be like an hour long. You would see that in the side of like CVS or Save-Ons, 1 hour photography. They would develop it rather fast. It was kind of nice, but now it's like you gotta have them send it out, they'll get it back, and they have to show up back to that place like a week or so later to pick it up. Having to wait to hear your favorite song on the radio and try to record it onto a cassette tape without the DJ talking. Someone responded, they always talked over the end of a song, drove me nuts. Anyway, that was just a dumb thread to talk about. It was really a slow news day today. All right, my brain's kind of fried. It's the end of the week. I'm excited to get out of town, go see a show. I'm just mentally checked out, all right? Cool. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, aka Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.